Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. My name is Adam and we're working on another SNS for you. So we got some viewer mail this week that showed up that I'm going to pull over here and show and share with you. Got some cool stuff this week. Really nice gifts. Got some machine work that I did, and this is a job that I've already done. Actually a couple weeks ago I finished it up. Saved the video, and I'm going to throw that into this SNS. It's actually a little bit of machine work that I had to do on a Harley Davidson engine. I had to do a little bit of basically like a little line bore and bush job, and turned out pretty good. So I think you'll enjoy that, so we're going to throw that into the video. So just a couple things I want to talk about real quick. First thing is messages on YouTube. I get quite a few messages. A lot of people send them to me, and I've got a lot of emails too. And first of all, I want you guys to know that if I do not respond to your messages or emails, please do not take it personal. I get a lot of messages, and I really just can't ever find the time to reply to everybody. I've had a lot of guys email me asking me about doing work for them, and it's not that I'm trying to ignore you or shy you away or not interested. I got a lot going on around here right now, and I've got to take care of. So once I'm more settled with my shop, with what I got going on, and I have more time, I'm also trying to keep my regular workflow coming and going too. I'll start responding to some of you guys about some of this other work that you need done. So as I said, please don't take it personal. Just pretty busy, and the stuff that comes in here, the time that I have out in the shop keeps me pretty busy, on top of the stuff that I like to do for myself, like the the whole shop improvements and construction going on, stuff like that. So Yahoo's been, not Yahoo, I don't know why I said Yahoo. Google and YouTube have been constantly making changes to their format, and I've recently discovered that the messages on there in my inbox I can't reply to. I've had quite a few messages here recently in the last couple of weeks, and some I didn't get back to right away, and then when I go in there and try to read them and reply to people, something's changed in there and it won't let you reply. So if you do want to send me a message, the best way to do it is to send it to my email. And what I'm going to do is show you my card again right here. It's got my email on it. So if you want my email, pause the video and just write it down. So there's my email, abom1979@gmail.com. That's it. So if you want to send me something, just send me an email. That's the better way to do it, because I see messages on my phone. I get the notifications through my email. It's just replying to a lot of comments and stuff on YouTube is a little bit harder to do on your phone than it is to sit down at the computer and do it. So I'll see messages throughout the day when I have time, and I'll read them, and then sometimes I forget to go back to the computer and go back into that inbox and read them. So just send me an email if you got something that you want to say, or ask me a question or something like that. And hopefully, as I said, here in the future, I'll be able to start replying to some of you guys that's asking me about doing work for you. Okay. So that was what I wanted to talk about there. Right here, I've got this is my geometric die head. This is a 3/4 D die head, and I've got another job here in the shop that I'm getting ready to start on. I've got a few 7/16 rods that I've got to thread both ends, and this is the job I was actually planning on putting in this week's video. Well, I went over to my toolbox, which is actually my granddad's toolbox back there, and started digging and searching for my 7/16 14 chasers that look like these here. You have your geometric chasers that go in these die heads, and I felt confident as all that I had a 7/16 set of chasers. But I found out that I don't. I mean, I've got every other size that I could ever need for this thing, and I don't have a 7/16 14. So I had to place an order and buy a new set of chasers for this to do this job. So this is something that I'll be showing in an upcoming video. We'll get the die head set up over in the lathe, and we're going to do some thread chasing. So that's just something to be looking forward to right there, is the geometric head. And I think that's about it. I did have a special guest this week stop by and visit me, so you're going to get to see who that is. And we got the viewer mill, and we're going to go ahead and get to the video, okay guys? All right, thank you, and we'll be talking to you soon, okay? All right, so this is our first lot for the viewer appreciation mill that showed up this week. And this stuff right here was sent to me by our friend James Green out in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's got some milling cutters that he had stashed away, and after I shown buying the K&T, he emailed me and asked me would I like some of these cutters. So he boxed them up and sent them to me. And I want to point out his packing job. He sent his best shirt along with these cutters right here, man. Check that out. James, I don't know what you're gonna do without your favorite shirt, man. Look, you got some roses on here. Got another rose there. That's a cool shirt, man. Thank you. We'll do some cleaning with that sucker. So anyway, yeah, he sent me some cutters, and we've got a few different style here. Here's some plain milling cutters here, also known as slab cutters, and they're definitely been used. I can see a few chips in the grind here. Same with this one. This one's a little worse shape here, but I believe they're still usable. They still have a nice edge to them. Just got some real fine chip places in it. And this is some more of your plain milling type cutter right here. Most of them have the size on there. That's a 3.5 by 1.75 inches. That one's got a chip place in it. Here's another big one right here. 1 inch. 1 inch by 4. And then you got a couple here that these kind of cutters here, I forget I'm trying to remember what you call them. Side facing cutters, I think, something like that. I'll have to get my book out. But you see how you've got one side that's ground completely flat there. You can buy these in a right and left hand. This one being a left hand. You see it says 6 LH there. And what you can do is that if you have all the right cutters, you can actually stack these onto your arbor like that, and use 2 or 3 or however many you want. But I know you can put a couple of these type cutters together like that whenever you're doing your milling. These two here have been ground on. This one was a 6 inch at one time, and it's been reground a few times. It's got a radius on one side right there. Trying to get it so you can see it. It's got a radius on one side, so this could be a useful tool if you've got to do a mill job that's got a radius in the corner. Same way with this one. It's been done the same way. Got a radius ground on one side there on your cutting side. This right here is one of your stagger tooth cutters. This is a 5/8 by 6, and it's in fine shape. It's been used, but it's still in good shape. What I really like about these is that there's no rust on them at all. I mean, I don't see any rust. They're in great shape. Look how clean that thing is, man. That's the difference between, I guess, being out west and being here where I am in the south. Is if you're not in climate control, things are going to start rusting on you. So these things are very clean, no rust at all. Most of my cutters, if I pull them out, you'll see they've pretty much rusted over. Not all of them, but some of them have. All right, there's another box right here. These are brand new. These were by Toolmex, and this is a 7/16 staggered tooth cutter, and there's 2 of them in here. These are brand new, never been used before. Fine looking cutter, nice and sharp. The other one is still in the bag. It's never been taken out before, but it's the same one, I believe. Yeah. So we got 2 brand new 7/16 milling cutters. So hopefully down the road here, whenever I get the mill set up, running, get it fixed, and I've got to collect some more arbors. I've only got the 1 arbor for a 1-inch hole, so I'm actually on the lookout now for, I'm trying to find a good 1.25-inch arbor on eBay, and I've been eyeballing a few. So I'm going to start collecting some cutters here pretty soon, and I want to get some end mill holders, a couple more arbors, some stub arbors, and hopefully a collet chuck for it also, and then another arbor that'll hold one of my Jacobs chucks. So we got a little while to go, but hopefully it won't be too long, and we'll start doing some cutting on the K&T behind me here. So James, thank you very much for the cutters. I really appreciate them, and I will put them with the rest of my cutters. I've already got a nice little collection already started, and it never hurts to have more, because it's nice to have a variety of cutters when you're trying to do a job, going through them and try to find the right size that you need. So thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the awesome shirt. I like that too. Maybe you'll see it hanging around the shop a little bit. So here's the other package that showed up this week, and I have no idea who this came from, but I didn't know who it came from until today. It showed up yesterday, and I actually thought it was from the company that it's addressed from, but I found out that it's actually from my friend Glenn, the guy who built my computer here, and I've done some motorcycle work for him. So Glenn, I guess, bought this product and liked it, so and he said he wanted me to try some too, so he bought me one and sent it to me. But it was funny though, because like I said, I got the box, and there's no name on here on who it's from, but it's from Gojo Industries. You know, they make hand cleaner. You know, I pulled the packing list out here and looked at it, and it's you know, sent to me, and it's from Gojo. You know, it's got their address on here. So at first I thought it was maybe somebody at Gojo that sent this to me, but turns out Glenn texted me and said, "Hey, did you get my my surprise yet?" And I was like, "Well, what surprise?" And he says, "I sent you some Gojo." So here's what he sent me. You got a brand new dispenser from Gojo and a box of the cherry gel hand cleaner. Really cool looking box. It's gray and black, and it's got a like a diamond tread shape to it. And you can either mount it on the wall with screws or use the you know, the double-sided tape there. But I actually do like the cherry gel hand cleaner. I've never purchased it myself and used it, but I've used it at a couple other shops that have it, and I actually really like it. So what I'm going to do with this is outside on the outside of my house here, I have a sink that's mounted out there, and I put it there a long time ago. It's a sink that came from my old shop, because we used to have 2 bathrooms. One of the bathrooms was never used, so I took that sink out. I actually turned it into that tool closet that I showed you in a video a while back. So I got the sink out there, and that's where I've always washed my hands. So what I'm going to do is mount this on my shed out there across from the sink, and it's underneath you know, an eave there, so the rain won't be getting on it. And so I'll have my hand cleaner over there, and be able to use some new Gojo hand cleaner. So Glenn, thank you very much for the surprise, man. That's a really nice gift. I appreciate it. And hand cleaner is something that any shop needs. It's a nice item to have around, and I'm looking forward to using this. So again, thank you very much for this, man. This is a nice gift. Hey guys. Okay, so what we've got here is a couple of old Harley Davidson motor cases here, and this is the victim that we're going to be doing some work on. And this one over here is strictly just a basically like a sample mock-up engine. This engine belongs to the customer, and this one belongs to the actual mechanic that's doing the work. And the reason he brought me this one is it's the same exact engine here, and his side case right here I'm going to be using on this motor so that I can locate this hole right here. I've got to precision, indicate this and get my position where I've got to do my work. So this will pull down. It's got a couple of dowel pins there, and I've got a bucket with all the nuts, and I'll snug a few of those down to get this indicated right here. But what we've got to do first, I'll show you what I'm doing. This center gear right here, we've got a little bit of a problem. I'll pull this thing out so you can see. All right, here's the that's the bolt, and then the the pin itself. You've got there's a spacer here, and then here's the gear. Now the gear is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is down inside here. This counterbore is where this pin is supposed to fit in here, like so. And what had happened is somehow it got wallered out. It's supposed to be a nice close fit so that it keeps this pin nice and straight and centered, and it got wallered out. So they attempted to go in there themselves and mill this out, and they were going to try to do this themselves, mill it, put a bushing in there to bring it back to size for the pin. But they got it off center. It's not true with the hole where the pin goes. So they called me up and asked me would I be interested in helping them and try to get this thing fixed. So they brought it down, and so that's what we got to do. And what my plan is, what I'll do is use this machine face on this side to pull it down onto the mill table. And once I get it clamped, I'll put the cover plate on here, get it pulled down, and then I'll locate this hole here, which is where this pin fits. So, and then once I locate the center, then I'll be able to come in here and counterbore this true with the tapped hole where the pin goes. He says the threaded hole is fine, that's original. So we'll counterbore it. I'll probably end up using an end mill. Counterbore it, then I've got to machine a bushing and drive the little bushing down in there, and it'll be counterbored for the pin. Okay, we got her set up in the mill. Got her clamped down. Thought I would show you my setup. I've got 1, 2, 3 blocks on 4 corners, and what I did was I mic'd them all before I started, and all 4 of them are well within a half a thousandths of being, the 2-inch height. So I figured those would work just fine. 4 strap clamps on it. And what I've done is, see if you can see, I clamped it to the machine face here, not on this register, which is it is machined, but I want to make sure I'm on that face. So I've got the blocks resting right against this edge here, all the way around. And I've got all the clamps nice and snug. I didn't over tighten them, but you know, with 4 clamps evenly pulled down, I feel like this thing is fine. I'm not doing any heavy cutting, but I want to make sure that it doesn't move. And another thing I like to do is whenever I clamp something like this down, before I come in here and indicate it, I'll just give it some light bumps with my hand, just to kind of see if it's moving. If it, you know, if I can do that and it spins, then I need to clamp it down some more. But I've done it a few times and it's not moving, so I believe we're good to go. Now this is the hole here that we have got to go in there and bore. And I've already measured. I used some little spring calipers, and it looks like they might have used about a 20 millimeter end mill. So I may be able to come in here with 7/8 and clean that bore up. So, all right, next step, I need to get the cover plate pulled down on it, and once I do, we'll indicate the hole. All right, I got the cover plate mounted. I put a bunch of the bolts in there and pulled them down lightly and got it snugged up. And what I did is I used this is my center point here, and I come in there with the center point and get it real close to where the hole is, so that you're not way off when you're trying to indicate. All right, got my Brown & Sharp best test indicator, and we're going to find the center of this hole here. I've got her already kind of adjusted close, so I didn't have to fiddle around with it. And generally what I do is just kind of walk around. Sometimes, you know, you can hold a mirror back here to read it. I don't want to go dig up my mirror, so okay, this side is plus 12, and we're going minus on that side. Actually about, you know, around 22 thousandths off there. I'll go ahead and bring the table to me a little bit. All right, plus 5. Bring it a little bit more, and then I know this side's going to be a little bit low, so I'm going to go ahead and move it that way. We'll just go to 5. Okay, I'm plus 2. That's 0 on this side. Okay, a little bit minus. Alright, so that's minus 2. This side is minus 2. We'll go back to the front and back. Okay, that's 0. And then I'm going to take it to the back and look at it. Okay, it's minus 3. Going to move it a thousandths there. It's minus 2. It's minus 2. Alright, minus 1 on that side. Minus 1.5. Okay. I need to go that way just a touch. Minus 2. Okay, we're a 0.5 thousandths off. That one's minus 2. 1.5. So it looks like we're 0.5 thousandths away. Alright, that's minus 1.5. and that side's -2. So again, we're within a 1/2 thousandths, and that's after the table is locked. So we're going to call that our center location. Okay, I got my 7/8 end mill tightened up in the quill. I'm gonna come down and just touch it and then back off a little and lock it up. What I want to do is touch off and then zero my need, see how deep I got to go once I touch the bottom. Okay, we'll set our zero there. I'll take it to 260. Just a little bit. I think that's I think we'll leave that alone. Okay. I've got, this isn't a center cutting end mill, so it left a little bit in the center. So I'm going to have to find another end mill to come and touch the center of it right there just to get it flat. I'm using this 5/8 end mill here. I want to come down and just touch the bottom, clean it up flat. Okay. All right, that did good. All right. Our counterbore is done, so next step is to machine a bushing to press down in there. Right now I'm trying to get my size that I need to make the bushing, and we know we use a 7/8, so that's our nominal size. I found this center bronze bushing in my drawer. This is a 7/8, and this thing actually fits about like it should. It's snug, and I can start it in there, and it's getting tight, and I think that's going to be a good you know, a bump fit in there without it being too tight. .878, 879. It's a little bit egg shaped. So I think I got just enough room to use my little telescope gauge. Alright, so we're getting about 877 and a half. So I think 878 to 878 and a half on the OD of the bushing will fit that hole nice. Alright, I dug up this piece of 1-inch steel here. I think this is stress-proof material, but I'm not sure. Kind of looks like stress-proof. We're going to use this to make our bushing. I'll just use this side here. It looks like it's tapped for 3/816. Yeah, I've got to go to close to a 9/16 hole in the center. and using the collet chuck. All right. Okay, I'm getting it close size here. I want to go ahead and try to make it like 878. $8.99. So we got basically 10, 20, 21 thousandths. What I'll do is we'll split it. I'm gonna just take 10 more now. We'll come back, take the other, what's left. Alright, that's actually 880, so I missed it by a thou. That's fine. That'll give me enough metal I can bring it the size that I want. Okay, let me swap some tools around. We'll put a little boring bar in here. Alright, we've got our little boring bar set up. I've got my depth set. And this is the pin that we're going to be fitting the bore of this bushing to. And I just mic'd this, and it measures .555 exactly. Double check it again. 555. I'm going to be shooting for that size and try to just kind of hand fit this to where you can get it in there, but it's not tight where you got to drive it in. And I don't want it loose either. We want a nice close fit on it. I'm going to take a little cleanup cut here. Use a telescoping gauge. Alright, I'm at 526, 27, about 27 and a half. Try not to bust my eardrums out blowing in this hole. Okay. $547, so we're sneaking up on it. So we've got about 8 thousandths. Let me take a 5. I think I'm going to use just a little touch of oil. Got a little bit. I'm trying not to blow all that stuff back onto the camera there. Alright, I think I got it where I want it right there. I I think that's perfect right there. Alright, so I'm just going to chamfer it real quick, and then we'll work on the OD. I'm going to get it to size, and then we'll part it off. Just going in there a little ways. See that stress proof is pretty well free machining stuff. It does a good job. I want this side to be the side that goes into the housing. So I'm just trying to file a little bit of a starting bevel there to help get it down in the hole. I think that looks good there. There it is. Now you notice, let me stop it. It left that sharp edge right there. That's because of the way that I grind this parting tool. I grind it at an angle so that it'll part the piece off and leave that last little thin strip on the material here. Alright, there we have it. I just got to chamfer that ID. We're good to go. Alright, there's a little steel bushing. Got me a little brass pin here that I'll use to bump it in there. Hopefully it won't be that tight. Okay, feels good. All right. Feels flush there. Let me grab the pin. It's actually a nice fit. It's trying to go in there. I can feel it moving down. Yeah, it's going down in there. I just don't want to go all the way down in there and get it real tight and have to try to pull it out of there. So I know that that'll work. I'm going to leave it alone. And well, you know, once the mechanic does the build, he'll put that in there. Let me get that cover and see how it lines up. All right, here's the cover. Now there's the hole that lines up with this pin. I've got it just kind of pushed down in there. I didn't knock it in. All right, I see it lining up. We use our little Herb Blair hammer. It's just registering on these dial pins. Okay. There it goes. All right, it's down on there. And it lined up perfect with that hole. All right, I think we've got mission accomplished here. So I'm going to take this cover back off and get it unclamped and go back to the table with it. Hey guys, well, I've been out here in the shop. Today's Sunday, just hanging out, and I had a visitor stop by and see me. Come on in. You guys will probably know who this is. This is Keith Rucker from Tifton, Georgia, and his wife here. She's here with us also, and they just wanted to stop by and visit, see the shop, and say hello.
Yeah, we were passing through Pensacola on our way out to Texas headed out for a meeting this coming week in San Antonio, and anyway, couldn't resist the chance to come by and see Adam at his shop here. So
yeah, well,
Adam's giving me the grand tour, and
yeah,
he showed me a bunch of these drawers over here that you guys hadn't seen in yet. So I got
yeah,
to see some really cool goodies.
You got to see some of the list.
Yeah, got to play with the new K&T mill a little bit, which is really a nice machine. But you guys know I love horizontal mills, so I'm jealous now. Adam's got a really nice horizontal mill there.
Well, thank you, thank you. Courtesy of James Kilroy.
Yeah,
offered me that mill.
He treated you right.
I think he did. He treated me right.
He treated you right.
I think I got a good machine and got a good price on it.
I'm gonna tell James when he gets ready to get rid of the bigger one to give me a call.
There you go. Whenever you go get that great big K&T, then you can pass the S15 off.
That's
to,
right. That's
to
right.
Keith
I could have used it. What was it, a week or so ago when I was working on that big part that wouldn't quite fit on my mill, and I had to make a sled to slide it back and forth. So.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah.
I watched that video just the other day.
That's right.
And I was thinking about that too. Even that one there probably would.
Oh, that one would have done a job. Yours would have been plenty big enough. So.
Yep. I think that one's 62.
Yeah.
62-inch travel.
Right.
Or 62-inch bed length, I believe.
I can't remember what mine is, but it's not quite that big, and I think I would have had more than enough to have gotten it done on that mill.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to getting that hooked up and making some chips, man.
I'm looking forward to seeing the video. I want to see
you are.
It's going to be cool.
Well, when I get it ready, we'll do some heavy cuts on it.
Good deal.
We'll give it a test.
Yeah, we may have to have a chip-off contest on the horizontal mills. He make the biggest cut on the horizontal mill.
There you go. Hey, I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
You'll beat me with that machine, but I got some pretty big tooling. I might have some bigger cutters.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I've got a few buried down here in my box, so we'll have to dig one out and see what kind of depth we can make on something.
There you go.
I'm looking forward to it because it's actually been a long time since I have the one that we had at our old shop, that old Quartet. It's been a long time since I run that machine. So I've been out of the horizontal game for quite a few years now, so I'm looking forward to getting back on it and getting some practice on it again.
Yeah. Well, they're much underappreciated machines in a machine shop, particularly a job shop. You know, you got one job, just one got to make one of something, not really production, but even on production jobs they have their place. But,
oh yeah.
Very underappreciated machine tools, and you can really do a lot of cool things on a horizontal mill.
Yep, a lot of funky setups and things that are just harder to put on a vertical mill that you can sometimes do on a vertical mill, and it just makes things so much easier. It takes a little longer to set it up, but then once you get ready to cut, it's like, bam, there it is.
There it is.
It's done. Well, Keith, thanks for coming by and paying me a visit. I really appreciate that, man, and I'm glad that you finally got to see the booth machine shop here. I enjoyed it, so.
And I appreciate you making the trip to Tifton about a month ago and helping us with that little job. So.
Well, you're very welcome, and maybe we'll do it again.
Maybe we'll do it again.
You got to let me know next time you restore a machine. We'll see if we can make another trip up there.
All right, sounds good.
All right, well, I guess we're going to sign off, guys.
All right, we're going to hit the road. See y'all later.
All right, see you.